Pompeii, the day the sky exploded. It was the morning of August 24th in the year 79 when the world ended for our beautiful Roman city. We woke up to great explosions from the huge mountain Vesuvius that towered over our city. By the time the eruption ended 2 days later, our city and many of the people living there were gone and would not be found for 2,000 years. The ancient Roman cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum, located near the modern Italian city of Naples, were completely buried by the eruption. The ash from Mount Vesuvius spread over a wide area. The eruption, which is said to have lasted 19 hours, buried Pompeii in 10 feet of volcanic ashes. Pliny the Younger watched the destruction and wrote down the story so we could learn about it. First, there was a huge explosion of toxic gases and burning cinders that devastated the city. The temperatures reached more than 750 degrees. Although the citizens tried to hide in their homes, the heavy ash crushed the roofs and buried them alive. A shower of very fine ash was deposited everywhere to a depth of more than 10 feet, enveloping everything and adhering to the forms of the bodies and even the folds of their clothing. By the end of the eruption, the death toll had reached more than 10,000. It's the 6th worst volcanic disaster of all time. Because everything was buried in ash, it was all preserved until it was discovered and excavations started in 1748. Many people who tried to flee the volcano were caught by the hot ash. They fell down and were buried by the ash. In modern times, archaeologists discovered the openings where the bodies had been buried and filled them with plaster. After digging around the surrounding hardened ash, they were able to get a perfect cast of the bodies. This person looks like they were trying to cover their face when they fell down and died. There are casts of whole groups of people that were trapped by the ash. Even some dogs were trapped by the fiery eruption. Nowadays we can visit Pompeii. It's one of the most popular tourist attractions in Italy, attracting millions of visitors each year. As we stroll the streets of Pompeii, we can imagine what life must have been like 2,000 years ago for the ancient Romans. We can visit the amphitheaters where they held meetings. We can see a well, and we can imagine what life must have been like when people gathered around the well to gather water to bring to their homes. We can also see many beautiful mosaics and artworks that tell us about what life was like for the ancient Romans. While Mount Vesuvius is still an active volcano, we have learned that it's not very safe to build homes on the side of volcanoes, and people pay attention to warnings when they're given and leave the area.